Have you been questioning yourself if this twin flame shift is real? If so, stay tuned because I'm going to share with you 4 things that can help you shift your twin flame consciousness and get in alignment with a higher vibrational perspective of your journey. Let's go! Hi everyone, my name is Dr. Harmony. I'm a twin flame expert helping twin flames around the globe face fears, find freedom, and glow forward on fire. Welcome to my weekly glow show. Today's topic is twin flame consciousness. Is this shift real? So many people are in a place of wondering if the twin flame concept and phenomenon was ever real. They're questioning it, they're judging it, they're trying to discern on what is real and what is not real. So based on my own 3 years of collective work in this topic that I'm writing an entire book on, actually what I'm going to kind of cover is really in 2 books. But this is also where I told you that I'm bringing in a series of videos on Twin Flames Redefined, because it's all got to do with the consciousness of our personal consciousness, our collective consciousness, and our planetary consciousness as to how we are personally creating harmony from the inside out, and we are also becoming the conduit between heaven and earth as we bring this into form. So I can assure you that a shift in consciousness is very real, and it takes shifting the consciousness of the collective. It takes an individual shift in consciousness to create a collective consciousness shift. So what has been happening through this is the Ascension process and the twin flame ascension process, which is kind of like there is a defining part between those two that I'm going to share in a minute. But what I want you to realize, it doesn't really matter. It's irrelevant if this is real or not in the collective view, because it matters is if it's real to you. Because this thing that you're going through, these experiences that you are experiencing, and this connection to another person and or persons you are experiencing is very real. And I'll share with you in a minute why it's important to basically kind of lose that label that is part of the redefining of this process. But we're shifting in this process of this transcendence of releasing these lower limitations and connecting to the highest version of ourselves and unlocking our greatest potential and our highest timeline. And when I say timeline, our greatest possibility and hidden power and our truth inside of us that aligns with us becoming the greatest version and the highest version of ourself in this lifetime. And we signed up for this as a group. And we signed up to personally shift our mindsets, our belief systems, our heart. We personally signed up to take action so that we can shift our reality, so that we can transcend all these lower vibrations and elevate our consciousness to make the shift in the awakening of the higher consciousness of all that is, even beyond the collective. And so we've been waking up for this to this identity for a long time. And I want to start by, there's 4 things that I'm going to share with you that can help you transcend, elevate, shift, and accelerate this process of consciousness, of the twin flame consciousness that you can work on within you. One is, some of this is just an understanding, it's education. Some of it is your practices. Some of it is your beliefs. But it doesn't matter, as I said, if you can work these things out within, it's going to help the collective consciousness. So if we want to redefine this twin flame consciousness, it starts with us as an individual, that collectively enough of us connect in a way that we tip the scale of the consciousness of humanity, which is what the Ascension process is all about. So we're going to start with the Ascension process of an understanding of What is twin flame ascension? Okay, because you can go out there and look, and you can, if you Google just ascension, the first thing you're going to see is basically the resurrection of Christ. You're going to see the steps of Christ and Jesus's path to transcending from a human into an ascended master, basically. And then, you're going to find more about the collective consciousness. But if you really just, look at the twin flame aspect of the twin flame connection to this, there's information out there, but not people are really understanding it, or it's not being put into context. So that's one of the things that I want to do. And I want to start by giving you an understanding of this, number one, with this twin flame ascension process. And it's a 4-phase process. Within that 4-phase, so I want to share with you the 4 phases. And again, I'm going to go over basically what I would say the highlights of these 4 things that can help shift the consciousness of this twin flames consciousness redefined. And I see each one of these somehow expanding on or growing on or becoming maybe even their own video part of this whole program that I'm putting together here. So just keep in mind, this is going to be kind of a highlight of things to hopefully create some clarity for you. And I will continue to evolve through this process of sharing more. So the first phase of the twin flame ascension process is the rebirth. This is the part where we're ascending and releasing our own thoughts, beliefs, limitations, our programs, what people have, projected onto us, or what we have defined ourselves as from everything outside of us. And we're transcending all of that. So we're releasing our past and the karmic and the debts and the vows as we raise our vibration and we go up in through this ascension process. And it is very, very painful process. And I won't go into a lot of the details of it because, again, I think there's going to be more common, deeper amounts of really what that means and how to accelerate that process for yourself. But in that, in ascension, and I'm going to start this out is talking about it from a terms of an ascension, because the entire planet is going up in ascension. The entire planet is evolving, and we are all becoming one, basically. And we're all becoming into this collective consciousness that is beyond twin flames. This is why we have to lose this label. But if you look at the ascension process, it is an awakening where I've been shown it's basically like we are creating sunshine within the spotless mind. So the spotless mind would be like basically removing the shadows, removing the doubts, removing those fears, right? And out of that, we're bringing light. So we're creating sunshine. And so I'm calling this liquid sunshine of the spotless mind. This is something I wrote on a piece of paper, I don't even know, 2 to 3 years ago. And it showed up, a couple years ago. And it's part of what I've been shown is what we're doing is creating liquid sunshine, which is restoring the diamond light. Again, I'll share more of this in detail in more video. And then we're also creating liquid love of the wounded heart. And that is love. When I say liquid, let me just say this. It is a feeling, a thought, a consciousness that is connected in such a way and entangled in with anything and everyone around us that you can't contain because it's that big, and it's liquid because you can't put it into any form. Okay, so we're bringing our light. So the liquid sunshine of the spotless mind would be our light. Okay, it's becoming fluid, it's becoming iridescent, it's becoming the diamond light. And then our love is becoming liquid from a standpoint of the same thing, being so fluid, so unconditional, so connected to loving anything and everyone and all that is. And there's a reason for that I'm going to share in a minute. But basically, in this process of this transcendence of awakening and tipping the scale here through the ascension, the 4 phases I was saying is, 1 is the rebirth, The second is the resurrection, and that's coming out into the new identity. It's shedding our skin. It's the butterfly coming out of the cocoon and being able to fly again and transcend into higher dimensions, higher elevated version of ourself, into that, creating that true and new identity. And as we do that, that's the the third phase of this is the rapture, which is where we're in the vortex of our higher self, of our destiny, of this liquid space of liquid love and the liquid light, where we are one with the source energy is the point. So when we reach this liquid space of light and love, we are then liquid and fluid with it, because there is no separation. You can't separate it. Okay? So in that space, then the fourth one becomes the reunion, because once in the rapture, you align basically and tune into your highest version of yourself, and you align with the vortex of all that is in this liquid space, then you will manifest and co-create based on what you desire, also your reunion. And we're going to talk about what that reunion means, because at that point, and I'll actually just say this now, because when you reach that space within yourself, you have understood and defined that love within you is with everyone. And it's like having twin flame love with everyone, not just one person that people keep thinking, which is also creating separation from you than all that exists. Okay? So it's very important in order to not identify and label all this to one person. So in the process of that, then, just to clarify, the four phases of the twin flame ascension is to go through the rebirth, to go through the resurrection, to go through the rapture, and to go into reunion with also your power partner, your perfect power partner of this lifetime that matches and comes in then at your vibration of whoever that is. They will come to you in alignment with where you are within that. You can only reach that level by letting go of the attachment in the bullseye of one person being that, because otherwise you're separating yourself from you and source and all it is. And you can't have that type of love putting it into this container of one person. Now, based on that says that as we shift through this plane of this ascension process, because ascension itself is, everyone's doing that. What does it mean then for the twin flame aspect of that? The twin flame aspect of that is a mirrored reflection of your twin soul, your other half, the person that becomes your strongest mirrored reflection, your clearest mirrored reflection, and that represents the piece of you that's the deepest core that helps you process this ascension within you and find this space within yourself. Okay? And, we're raising your frequency in that aspect then. So in that, we're not only transcending the limitations, but in doing so, the fastest way to go through this process is to align with your heart and to bring into form that which you desire from your heart. And as you start to remove the interference that's blocking you from connecting to your highest version of you, then that raises your energetic frequency, and you become the connection of what I have shown and called, the harmony in the inside, the balance within you, and the balance within your heart comes from the inside out. And you're removing the limitations such as karma and lessons and doubt, the debts and the vows and things like that you've, of course, signed up to. It's part of your assignment. It's part of what you agreed to do. And that's another piece you have to remember in all this. You signed up for these lessons. You signed up for these challenges. And you signed up with these people in order to help you do that. So in that, this isn't on there, but what that really means is you need to take responsibility and, agree to do your part in that. So that is a piece of the number 2 is the collective mission. So number 1 is that an understanding of really what the twin flame ascension is, and to realize when we're time I want to clarify, everyone's ascending, but it's the twin flame ascension is when you have your twin flame show up from a very high vibrational place of hitting you within all your shadows to clear and purify and purge your soul to the deepest core of its being, for you to then accelerate the process of these 4 phases of the rebirth, the the resurrection, the rapture, and then reunion. Okay? So you signed up with them to help you find you, is the point, and finding that love within. So in that then also became number 2, which is the collective mission. So in the collective mission, this individual, when I say twin flame consciousness, comes from the collective consciousness of our individual selves going up in this transcendence. Collectively, then we create a collective consciousness. And the goal was to shift that light and transcend the collection of everyone through this transcendence process, exactly as the same thing for our personal selves. So you are a piece of everyone creating this collectiveness, and you signed up for it. Where people are getting confused on this collective ascension process for the collective good of all and the universe is that there's 144,000 people, and I'll probably go into more detail about that later. I don't want to go into great detail, but the 144,000 that you hear about came through as the assignment that you signed up for, that it took 144,000 people to flip the collective consciousness from the shadows to the light. Now, we've done this. We actually did this. I'd have to go back and look at my notes on all this, but I'm writing about all this too. Again, I told you this is all on a book. So the timeline was around a year and a half ago. We did this flip, okay? But then there's the transitions leading into it, leading out of it, so it's still a process, okay? So in that, the 144,000 is the volunteers that came in 3 waves in order to have chosen to come here to participate in this collective mission for the good of humanity and the good of all. It does not mean, like some people think, that there's only 144,000 twin flames that came here to reunite. It came here to be the ones that are that amount to flip the switch, because in this collective mission of going into the collective consciousness raising, the collective consciousnesses and the entire collective piece of that, from heaven to earth and everyone in between, is creating oneness of all that is. And so because we're creating oneness of all that is, it took 3 waves of these volunteers, or 3 waves of these twin flames, to come through and create the portal of change of this consciousness from the shadow to the light, or the hard to the easier, or the separation to the oneness, or the lack of love to divine love. And the list could go on in that. But in the 3 waves of volunteers is what I talk about when I talk about the 3 waves of twin flames. I will make sure that there's a card, and I'll make sure that there's a link below for the 3 waves of twin flames. I've done a pretty extensive video on that. I imagine there might be another more, like maybe a piece of this might tap on it again, just to maybe even clarify or to go into more detail to update that, because it's very important. So dependent upon which wave of twin flame that you are represents and defines a lot of the process of your journey personally, your collective journey, as well as the journey with you and your twin flame based on your assignment, because the assignment within those 3 waves are different. And every individual collectiveness within that is different, because we each represent a piece of that. But here is something that's very key. You signed up for this. You are to honor this. You are to take responsibility for your own vibration, your own ascension process, your own harmony from the inside out, and take action for who you are, what you're due, and what you came here to do. And that could be from a standpoint of stepping into a bigger mission. But I want you to know at the end of the day, that is the mission. Like, you came here to flip the switch in some form or fashion to help be a part of this redefining love for the universe, for humanity, for thousands of years and eternity going forward, because through this shift in consciousness, we're transcending the whole idea of twin flames, that twin flames create separation from yourself and from the all that is. Now, that's not to say you can't have twin flame love. That's not to say you can't have the partner maybe you even thought you were to have, or that you can't be with your twin flame. All those things are determined at you and your mission and what you signed up for, and a lot of factors in between. But what it does say is that you, as a whole, as the collectiveness, that we are moving beyond twin flame love only, because twin flame love from collective liquid love says separation. And you can't have the oneness of all that is being into this defining point that only one person will do this for you. That is not twin flame love of any kind or any sort. And so that's why it's so important to, number 3, lose the label. Because the labels are tripping people up. They're causing people are getting so confused on the concept and the idea that one person is the only person, or now I don't even believe in this journey because it's not that person and another one showed up and they're a stronger mirror and they're a clearer mirror and they're where you're at now. So as you go up in these vibrations, you go up in the elevation of a different frequency, you are going to attract to you everything you need in that space for your own lessons, your own spiritual growth, your own spiritual healing, your own personal development. And so as we move through this consciousness into oneness, then it has to only come from within us, not somebody else to do it for us. That's how we're creating the consciousness that all it is, which is what we signed up for. The reunion, as I said, is the 4th phase of the twin flame ascension process. But everything in the middle has to be met to experience that. And, yes, we are, have a lot of different things that have went through the process of being, like shadow work and karmic partners and, all of these different facilitators. And, I'm sure I will relabel those for you to get a little bit better definition so you can kind of see where you're at, but you can't get stuck on that label. I probably will do another defining of what I've been taught over the last 3 years to clarify the difference in, these templates that I have experienced, to basically template them, because then I can determine, is this mission, is this more relationship? Now, the outcome is dependent on you at the end of the day. But, when somebody shows up, they're showing up in your vibration to be what you need. And the stronger you get within yourself and the higher and clearer you become, the clearer the mirrors become, and the stronger the mirrors might even get, because then they're hitting maybe even your deeper shadow that you haven't saw yet or you haven't been willing to. So the key here is, when you get to the 4th phase of this, for the twin flame reunion and experience twin flame love that is oneness with source energy, and you're at your highest vibration, you're going to attract your perfect partner of this lifetime. Your perfect power partner of this lifetime is what I'm being shown and calling it. And so, of course you have the desire for the one, but the key to remember here is in number 4 is you are the one. That you're the one that is creating this. You're the one that's creating the mirrored reflection of all these people to show up. You're the one that is coming into alignment with yourself, that's coming into alignment with source, that's aligning with your purpose, that is attracting what you need for everything is a mirror. So that's where every person is a mirror, whether they're karmic, whether they're narcissistic, whether they're you're like a divine partner of love, whether they have to do with your mission. They're also returning at times for rewrites, R-I-G-H-T. As they return, they're coming back to be able to clear something different, to correct something maybe that you left unsettled with them because the contract wasn't complete. Or you're collecting your energy and you're standing in your power, you're standing in your truth, and you're rewriting that pattern, basically, that you had with them the first time around. And, you know, so if you're looking at it and you're spending the energy on everything being outside of you, down to like one of the things I'm really even being shown in this is looking at it from a standpoint of taking ownership and being the one for why these experiences are happening, still happening, or people showing up or not showing up or returning. So in that, to really own the idea that you're the one that is the one you're really searching for. So you become that within yourself, and then you attract that within that perfect power partner of this lifetime that becomes twin flame love with you because you are experiencing it. Now, does that mean that it's not going to be that person that helped bring you through the wave or wasn't the strongest person? That honestly depends. And I also want to tell you, we were given a timeline to have this mission, this collective mission accomplished for this transition and this shift on September 30th of 2015. And I was shown this too, like even back then. And I've been tracking it, and I've been, for my own purposes, everything been shown through everyone showing up to me too, and my own experiences, putting this all together like a science project, that because we are going to oneness of all it is, and transcending twin flames that did the job to open this up, and because we have shifted beyond our deadline of what we signed up to do this, so we're on 4 years overtime now. The universe is saying, you know, you didn't get it done even as a collective. You know, like basically it's in some ways canceling and nullifying even old contracts that maybe we have for certain things that could have been a reality that are not even necessarily going to be a reality now because we are in a new dimension. We're in a new timeline, and we transcended to a new timeline, a new vibration, a new energy. And that happened faster than we could execute or catch up with our own self within our reality. And so, you know, therefore, sometimes, and some of these things are about creating completion of the work that we had, even with twin flames, of being, you have completed where you are. Now it's not something you can worry, wonder, or wait about. You're in a new timeline. You're in a new era. You're in a new consciousness. You're in a new energy. You're in a new vibration. You're in a new world, a new earth. And the mission must go on. Life must go on. And if you're still stuck on the label or the person, you're holding yourself back from honoring your agreement and taking responsibility for your personal vibration and becoming the best version of you. And I get that this is hard because of the quantum physics connection within this entanglement with this person. But what I want you to know is we're creating quantum entanglement. And the quantum entanglement says, as we move it to all one, this is where people are getting confused on, you know, other people being their twins and all this thing, because it could even be even more quantumly entangled or a higher vibration or more connected to the person that they thought was their twin. Again, that if that's the person that pretty much awakened you, identified with you, got you going on this journey, most likely that's the one that would be considered that. But you have elevated out of that web, and now you're connecting with these other webs that are meeting your vibration to help you continue and elevate your process to become one within. And the quantum entanglement really means we're all becoming one. So we're moving to polyamorous and androgynous. I said polyamorous. where a lot of people are like shifting in and questioning this polyamorous concept, which would be polyamorous eventually, but we're moving to androgynous is the point here. So androgynous supersedes twin flame. So in the redefinition, we are all one. We are all going to one, and that's going to supersede the concept and the idea of just that love with the twin flame that was the original connection of the separation of all of that is coming in and creating enough of the oneness to do that for the whole entire planet, which is, again, how we now are the conduits of as it is in heaven, so it is in earth, and we're bringing this into form. So, basically, recapping the 4 things that can help you shift your consciousness and redefine this twin flame consciousness within yourself that will also help you within the collective. And that is really understanding this whole twin flame process of the twin flame ascension and realizing everyone's ascending and realizing the purpose of your twin flame was to help you find love within and to help you align with you, to align with source, to ascend and resurrect into your divinity, into your rapture of your source, and then to connect with all that is so that we can accomplish, number 2, the collective mission of that. And through that process, then you, number 3, need to be losing these labels and redefining your thought processes and your way that you're processing your mindset and your heart and your belief systems, even about the twin flame concept, because that is creating separation and an illusion away from the collective, all that is concept that is happening. And within that, you're finding harmony within and balance within that's triggering everything you need for you to get every mirrored reflection from every person and every experience that you need, so that at the end of the day, you can look in the mirror and realize you're the one responsible for everything. You're the one that's causing all of the like triggers. You're the one that's causing all of the people to show up to help you transcend, and that whatever you choose in your vibration and your personal concept and relationship you have with you is the relationship you're going to have with everything, everyone. And I can promise you, in the 4th phase of this ascension process, the twin flame reunion starts within, and then you align with the perfect power partner of this lifetime. And so it is. So it is. So, all right, make sure that you check out the links below. I have some ascension tools that will help you accelerate your ascension. Okay, so there's tools and resources I have they're free, that can help you accelerate your process. And if you've not got plugged into those, get plugged in. If you're ready to go to even that next level, I have my Twin Flame Ascension Assistance membership program, where I'll be updating new information, new programs, new content, also on a weekly basis, that you can get further and more and additional assistance to help you accelerate through this process that will really help you gain more of an understanding and concept of the oneness with yourself, so that you can release this past, raise your vibration, reclaim your life from the highest state of version of you, and step into your power with full confidence, full truth and trust that you desire to experience the twin flame love that you signed up to experience when you're here. Okay? So please make sure to like, comment, share the shine, subscribe. Please let me know, as I go through this process, leave me a comment. Let me know if there's something that you would like to know more about, something you would like to hear, a topic in all this you'd like me to expand on. This is what I will tell you that really came down to a piece of this started coming together, where people are questioning the entire concept of, is this shit real, right? I put shift in the thing, but is this shit real? Okay? It is very real, but it's your illusion as to maybe what's happening, and you need to redefine your own consciousness to get plugged in and redefine the consciousness of what this journey is you're experiencing it, so you can get on board with the new energies and accelerate your process faster. All right? Namaste. I'll see you next week. Have a great day.